All right, class. Hello, good morning. Happy Monday. It's Friday for me, actually. And we're going to get right into it because the last video I recorded was way too long. So I'm going to do this short and sweet. Okay, so we're going to get started with our mini lesson. That means that you're going to need a couple things. You need a pencil, a pen, or you need your writer's notebook, okay? And let's get into it. So I'm not even going over this slide. You can take some time and it will make sense at the end of this lesson about the overview of our week. Today, we are getting started with thinking about and bringing some closure to the end of the reading of our book, Tuck Everlasting. So you finish a book, you put it down, you're done with it. It stays with you, it sticks with you. And experienced readers, that's what they do. They're always thinking about the characters and the lessons learned in the story and how we gain a deeper understanding of the book after we finish it and we go back and we begin to think a little bit more deeply about those characters, about those lessons, about those events in the story. Okay, so right now you're going to do this in your writer's notebook. You're going to write down the teaching point. So your writer's notebook is out, and if you need to pause this video after I'm done to finish writing it out, you can do that. So I'm just going to read the teaching point. I'm gonna go on. So in your notebook, you're going to write, after finishing a book, readers gain a deeper understanding of the book's characters and the lessons learned in the book by asking, what scenes in the book stand out to me and were most significant? So when I'm talking about a scene being significant, it's a moment in the book where your mind kind of perks up and you're saying, this is an important point. This is an important part in the book where something is changing, or I'm learning something new about a character, or a character has showed change over the course of the book. Okay, so this would be a point where I could pause it, or you would pause it to finish writing down the teaching point. Okay, so we are going to do some of this work with from a movie. From the movie Finding Nemo. And even if you're not familiar with the movie Finding Nemo, I can give you a brief synopsis of the book. So you have Nemo and you have his father Marlin. Nemo lost his mother at a very early age. It's actually a very sad beginning to the movie. And his father, for that reason, is really overprotective and doesn't give is constantly babying Nemo and not letting him kind of go out and do the same things that a lot of the kids, fish, jellyfish, are doing. And so Nemo is just dying to kind of break out of that shell and to have these normal baby fish, kid fish experiences. Okay, so we're going to watch the scene from the movie Finding Nemo. And what I want you to be doing in your notebook is I want you to jot down anything you think that is significant about this scene, okay? So ask some of these questions. Maybe what does the scene reveal about the character or characters? Why did the author, you think in this case, why did the writer, why did the director choose to include this scene? And then what is maybe the mood of the scene, and how does the mood of the scene contribute to the scene's importance? So the mood of the scene is the feeling of the scene. I have a crying kid coming in right now. The feeling of the scene, okay? So I'm gonna pause this right here to deal with the crying children. And just to fill you in, where the scene that we're gonna be watching is the moment at the end of towards the end of the film, where Nemo is reunited with his father, with his dad. So let's take a look. Pen in hand, you're writing down anything you think is significant Nemo? As you watch. Okay.
Dory. Nemo! Nemo! I'm coming, Nemo! Nemo! Oh, thank goodness. It's all right, son. It's going to be okay. Turn around! You're going the wrong way! Now go! Hurry!
Tell all the fish to swim down!
Well, you heard my son! Come on!
Sorry, you have to tell everybody to
Swim down together! You understand what I'm saying to you? Swim down!
Everybody swim down! Swim down!
Swim down! Swim down! Swim down! Don't give up! Keep swimming! Just keep swimming! That's it!
It's working!
Just keep swimming! Keep swimming! You're doing great, son!
That's my dad!
Come on, let's get to the bottom! Keep swimming!
Keep swimming. Keep swimming.
Almost there! Keep swimming! Dory!
Okay. All right. So a couple of things that I wrote down during that scene, thinking about why is this significant? Why would this be a scene that I would choose as being one of the most important or pivotal in the movie? And the reason that this is so important is because this is the moment where Marlin, Nemo's father, begins to trust Nemo kind of for the first time. He puts his trust in Nemo, and he says, Nemo says, "I can do this," and Marlin says, "I know you can." If you've ever had someone tell you that, put their faith in you and say, "I know that you can do this," it is an extremely empowering feeling, right? So, and you also have so that is significant. That is significant because in the past, Marlin was too scared. He was too scared to lose Nemo that he couldn't put his faith in Nemo. And at the same time, you also have Nemo saying, "That's my dad." So you have the sense of pride that Nemo is showing for his dad. And in the past, in the beginning of the movie, Nemo has some embarrassment around his dad because his dad's so overprotective and won't let him do anything. If you don't remember from the beginning of the movie, he makes him go play on in the kiddie pool area, and so you have this moment of them both just they're reconnecting and coming back together, and that's why this scene is so important. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide, and let's talk about how we're gonna parlay this or connect this into Tuck. So you're going to be doing this work with Tuck Everlasting. You want to find and you're going to choose a significant scene from Tuck Everlasting. So we're going to brainstorm together a couple of scenes. This is the active part in our mini lesson. So just like before, when you were brainstorming, like why is that scene important? You're going to write in your notebook why. What are some of the significant scenes from Tuck Everlasting? So this is a time for you to either chat with me or some classmates in our live video session to help you brainstorm. You want to try to have at least 2 significant scenes identified. So if I was teaching this lesson in our live session, this would be the part where I'm going to pause. But I'm going to continue on and just share with you some of the scenes that I wrote down and that I identified, that maybe you identified as well. So I'm just going to identify 2 or 3. One significant scene that I think is really important and shows a lot about a character is the moment when Jessie Tuck proposes to Winnie Foster. This is a significant scene because, first of all, wow, like, whoa. How old is Winnie? How old is Jessie? Okay, we're going to move past that. But what does it show about Jessie Tuck? It shows that he's a very impulsive character, That means he acts without thinking. And he's also primarily just thinking about himself. I could say that he's also a little bit of a selfish character. He's thinking about what his needs and his wants. So Winnie, you're going to wait until you're 17. You're going to drink from the well. You're going to drink this water, and we're going to be together forever. Because he wants that companion, but he's not thinking about how this would impact Winnie. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about Jessie Tuck anymore. Another scene that I think is really significant, also shows a lot about a character and how a character has changed, which is really important, is the moment when, in the chapter, when Winnie volunteers to help May get out of prison. This is a significant scene because this is what I would say if I'm writing, thinking just the way I would write. This is significant because we see Winnie Foster has changed from her experience with the Tucks. We meet her at the beginning of a story. She's prim and proper and has not really experienced the world, kind of like Nemo. Interesting kind of connection there. And in this moment, she volunteers to help Meg out of prison. She says, I want to help. I need to help. She wants to take a risk. She's going to leave. She's going to sneak out of her house. She's going to go to the jailhouse. She takes May's place in the jail. She basically she's a criminal. She's letting a convicted felon who killed someone escape. So kind of a big moment for Winnie Foster, and also shows her love for the Tucks. Okay, so I'm to teach this lesson, and so that's a really significant scene. Maybe you brainstorm some others. There are a lot of significant scenes in this story. So once I'm done with this lesson, let's chat and let's talk a little bit more about significant scenes that you think are really important. But it really takes the time for you to do the brainstorming and to do the thinking. What do you think is a really important scene that really stands out to you as the reader in the book? Okay. We're going to move to the next slide. All right. So here are some of your next steps. Number one, first step. You're going to take a picture of your writer's notebook from today's class, and you're going to add it to the assignment on Google Classroom. I want to see that you guys are really actively participating in the lesson by doing this work here. And if you need to go back and do any of this work, write the teaching point, do the thinking about Finding Nemo, do the thinking about significant scenes. This is all there for you. So the resources are there for you, and I'm there for you as well. So do that. If you take a picture with your phone, take a picture with your webcam, whatever you need to do. And if you have any trouble with that, email me, talk with me, check out my office hours. I'm there. Just let me know. In a moment, we're going to review the assignment for Tuck Everlasting. We're going to do that actually outside of the video. So we'll do that as a class. This video is not that much longer. And then you're going to read, this is so key, after you have selected the scene that you're going to choose as the scene that you want to focus on and talk about, you have to reread that entire chapter. So with the entire chapter, you're going to reread it. You're going to pull out quotes. That's part of the assignment. Think about what is important about the scene. What do we learn about characters? What do we learn about what lessons are trying to be shared by the author through this scene. And then after you've reread the chapter, you're going to begin the assignment, okay? And that assignment is due on Thursday, and that assignment is going to set you up to do an awesome job creating a flip grid on Thursday, so you'll have time to do that in class. My office hours are Monday from 2 to 3, so use that time. If you are not set, if you have not identified a scene by that time, let's talk. Let's video chat during that time, okay? So we're going to use this time in class now to review the Tuck Everlasting talking about reading assignment, and signing off. Okay.